pumpkin picking time and apple picking time for sure, Steve.
Jesse, thanks.
It is time now for Ask the Expert. People shop at farmers markets to get their fresh, nutritious, delicious, and locally grown food.
Right now, we have an abundance of all those fall harvest vegetables as the season comes to an end. You can find some good values on some healthy foods. Our registered dietitian and nutritionist, Lori Meyer, joining us live this afternoon. I got beets for 99 cents a pound. I got like 5 pounds of beets I got to come up with a plan for.
And right now, because there is such an abundance and such a short window, you can get some really, really good deals. So it's really important that we go and we get them. And there's so much more. I mean, I brought some of the highlights, some of the things that you're going to get there. Tomatoes and peppers are starting to wind down, but they had a slow start. Remember the beginning of the season. But you want to eat them. You're going to get good vitamin C and carotenes. In particular, the tomato, we know it's lycopene, really good for prostate cancer and other types of cancer. But a new Finnish study found people who eat more tomatoes tend to have less stroke. So really important. Cooking them a little bit better than eating them raw, because you're going to preserve or make the lycopene more available, but you can still eat them raw. Peppers, the capsaicin, the hotter the pepper, the more capsaicin. It's a really good anti-inflammatory, so if you're a person who's in a lot of pain, you might want to start eating some peppers. The red peppers have much more carotene and beta-carotene.
Vitamin C, I'm amazed the amount of vitamin C.
The highest vitamin C vegetable practically out there, so wonderful source of vitamin C. All the root vegetables, this is now the time. So carrots, you know, they're pretty available most of the year, but none of them taste as good as the ones that you get right now. Of course, you have your carotenes in that as well. Cooking for this vegetable a little bit better than eating them raw, but of course you can still eat them raw. We were just talking about beets, and you bought your beets. A wonderful food. We don't eat enough beets. They have some substances, betalain and betaine. They actually help to increase nitric oxide in the body, so athletes really like them. They also are just a really good anti-inflammatory, antioxidant food. We have rutabagas and turnips. I don't know, do you eat any rutabaga or turnip?
In a stew, maybe.
A lot of people don't. They're kind of a little bit afraid of them, but they actually really good. They're cruciferous vegetables, so all the same anti-cancer properties that you get in broccoli, cabbage, you're going to get in the rutabaga and turnip. And you can't eat them raw, so I have a couple of raw strips if you want to try them later. And then, of course, our squashes. Same thing as the pumpkin, a lot of the carotenes, a lot of the minerals. Wonderful for people with gut problems, one of the easiest to digest starches out there.
These have a shelf life, though. We only have a minute left, so we have some more to get through. But how long?
You know, for most of these, keep them in, except for tomatoes, they all, tomatoes and squash stay out. The rest go in the refrigerator. Tomatoes and peppers, 2 weeks. The carrots and the root vegetables, somewhere between 4 to 8 months. And then your squash, 2 to 6 months. Okay. And so what do we do with them?
Yeah, teach us how to cook, Lori.
Well, one thing I did with the roots, I made, instead of mashed potato, I made mashed root. So this is actually rutabaga, turnip, and carrot. And I think it might be a nice way to get people into eating these root vegetables, because it's like, well, we like mashed potatoes. So
are you sneaking them in pasta sauce too?
Well, this is actually tomatoes and peppers. So this is a roasted tomato and pepper sauce. So if you have an abundance, make them. You can can them, or you can even freeze them. I think one of the best ways to get people to eat squash is roasted, because anything roasted tastes delicious. And the beets, because you preserve the nutrients when you eat them raw, I made a raw beet salad. And I think this is a salad, if you don't like beets, because sometimes they taste muddy, having them just a little bit of apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, and olive oil, a little salt and pepper.
Spices them up a little.
And they're kind of sweet. You know, it's not that muddy flavor. So try it, and you know, you might really like it.
Lori, thanks for coming in, showing us what to do with the fall bounty. Have a question for her or any of our experts? Email asktheexpert@tmj4.com, or leave a voicemail at that number right there on